Alright, so far today we've removed the wheels and we went and had new tires installed. So here is the wheels with the new tires. They're Bridgestone Battle Axe S22s. On the rear we did the 190 55/17, and then on the front the 120 70/17. So now I'm just gonna put them back on. Before I put the wheels back on, I wanted to clean the brake calipers. So you're gonna take some soapy water and an old toothbrush, and we're gonna remove the pads, brush them off on both fronts, and the rear caliper as well. And that's one way to ensure your brakes will function optimally like you want. All right, so here's just a little before. That's how dirty they look like before we clean them. Both of them. Get in there. So nice and grimy, nice and dirty. We're only cleaning the inside, the pistons here. So just water and dish soap, old toothbrush.
I could take you up in paradise on the ocean, if you will tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again. Shaboom, and home will meet again. Oh, life could be a dream, if I could take you up in paradise on the ocean.
So here's the after. You just do as good as you can. You can do it again another time you change your pads, but anything is gonna be better than nothing. So this is how we got it. Clean the outsides a little bit. Came out pretty decent. So we just got the rear wheel on, cleaned up the sprocket a little bit, not too much. Clean the rotor, clean the caliper. So you clean these pins. I like to use like these Scotch-Brite type scrubbies. You scrub those off so they can slide nice, and then lube them up. I kind of just wipe down the swing arm on the inside, put the wheel on. The wheel is always rear wheel is always a bit of a pain in the butt to put on, just because you have to get the caliper over in its slot. You have to get the caliper in, or the rotor in the caliper, and then obviously the chain on the sprocket. Then you got to get the axle through. So it's just a bit of a balancing act, but got it on. Looks good being on. So now we're going to move over to the front wheel. Alright, so these are the pins that go into the calipers. You can see how dirty they are. There's 4, 2 on each side. So I'm going to take this with one of these Scotch-Brites, and I'm just going to clean them off. Alright, so here's all 4 cleaned off. We're going to lube them up now. So now we're just going to take a little bit of lube and lube them up. Not very much at all, just enough that they're going to slide nice and freely through the calipers and the pads. So just cleaned up the spacers, cleaned up the gasket, cleaned up the bearing, lubed it all up, got them in there ready to install. Proper way to put calipers on is you put the bolts on until they're just before tight, leave them a little loose on both sides, and what you're going to do is we're going to spin the wheel, and then we're going to grab the front brake, and what that does is it allows the radial calipers and pads to center on the clasp over the rotor, which is spinning. So we're going to spin it, grab the front brake, do it a couple times, and then you're going to hold the front brake, not let it go, while holding the front brake, you're gonna go down and tighten them all up. You don't have to go to crazy torque, but you would just wanna make sure they're all nice and tight, and then you can let go of the brake. And then your rotor and calipers are centered. So I just did this side, and I'm still holding the front brake. I come over here, swap hands on the front brake, and then while still holding the front brake lever, I'm gonna tighten these up. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I still have to tighten down the pinch bolts on the front, but that's it. So front and rear wheel are on. So far we've done nothing else to the bike besides that.
If you will tell me I'm the only one that you love, life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again.